Friday. Happy Friday. I hope everyone is staying safe. I hope your families are safe. I hope you're doing everything in your power to social distance and to stop or to put an early end to this pandemic. It saddens me to hear that Georgia is already, opening up for business. They should rather, wait out the storm. Everyone needs to work together, but what's going on in Georgia? Can anybody report on what's happening in Georgia? Mark Roughton, howdy. So the topic for today is independent contractors may find less money in their unemployment checks, and we're going to go through that. Scott Tucker, how are you, buddy? Again, independent contractors may find less money in their employment checks. We'll go through that. And by the way, if you are having issues, and the state is trying to verify your earnings with Uber and Lyft, right? Uber and Lyft make no company telephone numbers available, nothing, right? You can't even send them letters. I'll show you a thing later. They refuse to receive any letters from you, right? Because that means they have to acknowledge that they've got your documentation and they have to act. So they're not, by the way, they are not accepting delivery, right? There we go, just so that you know. And we'll go into that later, right? So how you get around this is FLAM's in the house, Platinum's in the house. The way you can get around this is I've left you the 415-619-9118 number. It's the legal department. Leave a message there. And when you're leaving a message and saying, hey, I'm trying to get my earnings verified by Uber, but you're not working with me, you're not corresponding, the state will not accept that 1-800 number that you have. We need a real number. We need real verification. You put them on the record, right? And you make a recording of that. So you're basically making a recording of the recording. You understand? So you have legal backup. So in the scheme of things, you're trying to get your money. If they are obstructing you, you have called them. You've given them notice. You've told them who you are, what city you work in, what category you work in, UberX, the date, the time, and that you need your earnings verified. So you have it on the record. I've left you the number, right? And I'm putting that number out there. That's the legal number. I could not care less what they think of me publishing that number. The people are entitled to a phone number, period, right? So, cool. We got a lot of users in the one room. Sort of looks like I may have two streams going, two different streams going in Rideshare Professor. My bad. I was supposed to make one live stream. This is too funny. This has never happened to me. I was supposed to make one live stream in the Rideshare Professor channel and one in the Rideshare Driving School. Guess what I'm doing right now? I'm doing two streams back to back in Rideshare Professor. I haven't had my coffee, right? So there are more than 10 million independent contractors in the United States, according to research. The 2.2 trillion coronavirus relief extends unemployment benefits to these workers, but they may get less unemployment than they think if they supplement self-employment income with traditional W-2 work. What does this all mean? Many independent contractors and self-employed workers could get smaller unemployment checks than they anticipate, ladies and gentlemen. I'm following both streams, so I'm trying to give both sides. I can't believe I'm streaming twice in the same channel. This is so bizarre. Many independent contractors and self-employed workers could get smaller unemployment checks than they anticipate. The situation is a result of how states process unemployment applications for this group of workers who became eligible for jobless benefits as a result of the 2.2 trillion federal coronavirus relief package enacted last month. And it's potentially large pool of workers. Between 10.5 and 15 million workers or independent contractors, according to the Washington Center for Equitable Growth, which cited data from the Bureau of Labor Statistics and research conducted by academics at Harvard University and Princeton University. States generally determine eligibility for unemployment benefits based on W-2 wages reported by an employer. Here it is. States generally determine eligibility for unemployment benefits based on W-2 wages reported by an employer. They also use that information to assess the size of recipients' weekly checks, which are based on prior income levels. Here's a bit of a graph on how it surges, the unemployment. The state framework is negatively impacting some Americans who earn the bulk of their income from contract work, reported to the federal government on 1099 tax forms, but who also, to earn extra cash, have side jobs that are reported on W-2 forms. So if you have a side job, listen up, if you have a side job and you are filing a W-2 over here and you're filing a 1099 as an independent contractor, your payouts could be way, way less. Best case scenario, you're getting $600 per week over 39 weeks, right? That's about $2,400 a month. But listen up, if you are 1099 and a W-2, it will seriously impact those monthly payments. Plus, what could also impact this is that you're trying to get these numbers verified from both ends, right? You're trying to get the 1099 verified by Uber. They're not playing ball. They will not cooperate. Your W-2 person is working with you. Now, the state knows that you are a W-2 employer and a 1099. The W-2 people, everything's verified on that front, and you find yourself waiting, let's say, on the 1099. That will also hold up the whole show, right? So no fun, this whole process. And thank God some people have received their money already. Here's the problem. Some, if not all, states are looking at the more meager W-2 income to determine the size of weekly unemployment checks. Listen to this. Here's the problem. Some, if not all, states are looking at the more meager W-2 income to determine the size of weekly unemployment checks. Some workers may be getting shortchanged as a result. So this could come back and bite you big time if you're a W-2 and a 1099. And again, I'm talking to 2 feeds. How silly of me. I'm doing 2 feeds on Rideshare Professor. I cannot believe it, and I know why, because I haven't had my coffee. And by the way, right after this, I'm going to keep this one fairly short and sweet. I'm going to jump into another feed and expose all those companies who actually have taken away our small business loans. There are actually big corporations who are earning hundreds of millions of dollars who are taking away our SBA loans. And we need to expose this. We need to expose these companies. Who knows what they have going with the Treasury or the Labor Department? Do they know people on the inside? Why are companies that are making over $100 million getting $15 million of our aid? Why is that happening, right? So there's a massive dysfunctionality at the top there. People are abusing the system. The money that's intended for UI, for the small, the SBA loans, we're not getting it. If you're lucky, you're getting $1,000 versus somebody getting 15 million of our dollars. Shake Shack, thank you, Shake Shack. They actually received $10 million and they said, hang on, we're making money. Why are you sending us money? And they sent the money back. But the one thing that I don't understand is Shake Shack must have made that application in the first place. They didn't just automatically get the money, or did they automatically get the money? Did they fill out that SBA loan? If so, it was their intention to take money. If not, and they just got the money, they just got $10 million aid, then good for them. They sent it back. And they set an example. And they say, you know what, that $10 million is not for us. It's for the small guy. It's for the small business. But we will, right after this feed, I'm going to jump into another feed, back to back. I acknowledge you all, Jerome, Abstract. I want to have you participate in the next feed right away. So this won't be too long. And then we're going to really go through these companies, right? And am I ever going to buy a product or use their services again after they take money away from you and I, the people that really deserve it? No. Hell no. Lady Net's in the house. How are you? Good to see you. So let me carry on so I can get to the second stream. So that's the case of Boyona Balta, self-employed worker living in Los Angeles whose income has evaporated as a result of the coronavirus pandemic. We've heard many of such stories, right? Here we go, by the way, California, Obviously, they have over 35 million people, so California leads the number of jobless claims in the state. That goes without say, just paid based on the pure number of citizens in that state. Balta made roughly $80,000 last year. Most of her income, about 95%, was earned through the marketing and staffing work she does as an independent contractor. The remainder, approximately $5,000, was from W-2 work as a commercial actor and sporadic shifts at Amarone Kitchen and Wine, a restaurant owned by Balta's friend. So that $5,000 on the W-2 is what comes back and bites her. And could be many of you guys out there. It could be many, many people that have W-2s and 1099s filed, right? Very, very common. Balta began receiving unemployment benefits in recent weeks after applying with the state on March 18th, but California is paying unemployment based off her $5,000 of W-2 income. Balta is receiving $67 a week from the state, much less than she expected. I'm telling you, that's 1/10 of what she expected, right? If she didn't have any W-2 income, she'd be entitled to earn an extra $100 a week or $400 a month at minimum, right? Workers in California are entitled to a maximum of $450 a week. I thought it was $600. I was wrong. I didn't realize those few W-2 earnings would persecute me, she said, and I'm not alone. She's definitely not alone. California's unemployment office, the Employment Development Department, didn't immediately respond to a request for comment. Coronavirus job losses surge, unemployment insurance claims, 26.5 million jobs created since Great Recession, 22.4 jobs lost during Great Recession, 8.7 million. Wow, just to put everything into perspective. By the way, if you've seen this news circulating, do not inject yourself with disinfectant and Lysol. Someone right at the top made that comment yesterday that could work. Lysol and all of these disinfectant companies have come out and said no. I mean, you can use your disinfectant right in your car. You can wipe it down, you can spray, but do not put it in your body, please. That's not a joke. Some people might take that as an example. Oh, we need to follow this guy and do what he says and actually inject ourselves with disinfectant. Don't do that, folks, please. Most states are likely to use an approach similar to California's, according to Christopher Moran, a partner in the labor employment practice group at law firm Pepper Hamilton. That could potentially leave millions of self-employed Americans, such as full-time Uber drivers or other workers in the gig economy who work part-time elsewhere, at a financial disadvantage, right? The coronavirus relief law, known as the CARES Act, significantly expanded unemployment benefits. But again, to recap, if you have filed a W-2 like this individual, and maybe $5,000 or $10,000 you earn on your W-2, and you made $60,000 on your 1099, guess which one they're going to look at, right? Because they don't want to pay out much. They're going to look at your W-2. And in this article, it clearly states that's how most states operate. So anticipate low checks if you have low W-2s and high 1099s, just saying. Okay, so my friends, I want to get another live feed going literally in 5 minutes. This is really the more important one. But what I'm going to do in this one is that I'm going to double up. There's going to be 2 different feeds instead of 2 feeds on the same channel. Come on, Torsten, where's your coffee? I appreciate you guys. Let's shut this one down. Let's get this information out. You have the phone number of San Francisco. If you need it, you have an official Uber number from me, so they can't make any excuses. It's a recording. Leave the recording. And now we're going to proceed to a live feed after this and really expose the companies that are taking our money. Have a good day.